Answer each question. Which fractions are equivalent to 1/4? Choose all that apply. Which are equivalent to 6/9? Choose all that apply. Well, let's check 2/3. I can turn a 6 into 2 by dividing by 3. If I divide 9 by 3, I also get a 3 for 2/3. So we'll write that down. Then I can change a 2 into a 4 by multiplying by 2. To keep an equivalent fraction, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So the top 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times 2 is 6, which is also in our list. I cannot multiply a whole number to get 5, but if I did 2 times 2.5, that could give me 5. But 3 times 2.5 is not equal to 8. 2 times 3.5 would give me 7, but 3 times 3.5 is not equal to 10. 2 times 12 is 24, and 3 times 12 is 36, so that one is also equivalent to 6/9. You could also think of it as 6 times 4 is 24, and 9 times 4 is 36 if you went back to the original. If I wanted to turn a 2 into 16, 2 times 8 is 16, but 3 times 8 is not equal to 19. So these three fractions are equivalent to 6/9. Here we see two tessellations. A tessellation is when you have the same shape repeated over and over again to make a pattern with no gaps. You can see that the same shape here is represented in a different color, and they are pushed together to leave no openings. We're going to look at Kelly's tile to help us fill in the table in our workbook. There are two different types of rhombus pieces, one with dots and one that is shaded blue. So we're going to count the dotted pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dotted pieces, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shaded pieces. So 5 dots, 7 shaded, and if we do the total, 5 plus 7 is 12. In the last column, it asks for the ratio of dotted to shaded. Since the dotted was mentioned first, the 5 comes first in our ratio. Now we're going to look at if we had two sets of the tile. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 dotted, and 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14 shaded. So 10 dotted, 14 shaded. If we add those together, 10 plus 14 is a total of 24. Then we write the ratio. Looking at 3 tiles placed together, count the number of dotted tiles and the number of shaded tiles. The total, 15 plus 21, is 36. See if you can determine the pattern to fill in the remaining row. If you need to look at 4 tiles, here's the example with the 4 tiles placed together that you can use to count. and the final completed table. You can see that they've created a tape diagram to represent the dotted to the shaded, which has 5 boxes compared to 7 boxes. When we have 2 sets of tiles, we add another one of those ratios, 3 tiles and 4 tiles. You may have noticed that neither of the ratios of red paint to blue paint that he tried worked to match the paint that was on the wall. He's going to need more paint to paint all of the walls. So we're going to have to use the ratio of red paint to blue paint that matches the wall color and create additional paint. You can see here that the ratio of red paint to blue paint is 3 to 4, which is represented in the tape diagram with 3 boxes for red and 4 boxes for blue. If we wanted to create twice as much paint, we would need 2 sets of the ratio. Or we can think of it as 2 filling in each of the boxes. Then instead of 3 plus 3 being 6, they've just wrote it as one tape diagram, but 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 6. If we wanted 3 times as much paint, we have 3, 6, 9, or we can think of it as 3, 6, 9 cups of red. Here we'd have 4, 8, 12, or 3, 6, 9, 12 for the blue. So this filling in the box is just a faster way of creating additional tape diagrams. Here it would be with 4, and in our book it asks us about 5. It says, consider the mixture of red paint and blue paint that matches the purple paint on the wall. Draw tape diagrams to represent the ratio of the number of cups of red paint to the number of cups of blue paint in 5 batches of purple paint. We're going to start with that same setup of the tape diagrams. We have red with 3 boxes and blue with 4 boxes. Because we want 5 batches, we're going to fill the boxes with the number 5. It says write the ratio that relates the number of cups of red paint to the number of cups of blue paint in the 5 batches of purple paint. Well, the red is 5, 10, 15, and the blue is 5, 10, 15, 20. C, how did you determine determine the ratio of the number of cups of red paint to the number of cups of blue paint in 5 batches of purple paint? We fill in each box of the tape diagram with the number 5. A bucket has 12 cups of red paint in it. How many cups of blue paint do you need to add to the bucket to create the correct shade of purple paint? Draw a tape diagram to show your thinking. Again, I have 3 boxes for red and 4 boxes for blue. This says 12 cups of red paint. That doesn't mean I need 12 batches, so I'm not going to put 12 in each box, but I do want to put 12 as the total amount of red. If I split 12 evenly into 3 parts, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So then I need 4 in all of the boxes for blue as well. That means 4, 8, 12, 16 cups of blue paint is needed to mix with 12 cups of red paint to create the correct shade. A bucket has 24 cups of blue paint. That's the total amount for the blue. How many cups of red paint do you need to add to the bucket to create the correct shade of purple paint? 24 split into 4 equal parts is 6. 6, 12, 18 cups of red is needed to mix to make the correct shade. A barrel holds 42 cups of paint. That's total. So all of these together make 42. Not just the red, not just the blue, but all of it together combined is 42. How many cups of red paint and how many cups of blue paint do you need to create 42 cups of the correct shade of purple paint? Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes altogether. So if I split 42 evenly into 7 parts, that gives us 6. So that's 6, 12, 18, 6, 12, 18, 24. So 18 for red, 24 for blue. And if we check, is 18 plus 24 42 total cups of paint? Well, 8 plus 4 is 12. 2 plus 1 is 4. So yes, this is the correct combination. That's the end of lesson 4 for 6th grade, module 1.